Welcome back to the NetSuite Podcast SuiteWorld edition. And we're welcoming everyone back who has been watching at netsuitesuiteworld.com/on-air. You have just seen the Gary, Brian, Patrick, and Allison keynote, the product keynote. And we're going to get into some reactions here on the podcast about that. But first, let's hear from one of our sponsors, Fritz.
Let's talk about Celigo. Celigo helps companies go beyond integration with intelligent automation across all of your applications, not just one, not just two, all of them. Learn proven strategies to streamline order to cash, your favorite, Chris, fulfillment, Tori's favorite, and EDI, mine, and more. Walk away with a clear roadmap to drive greater efficiency, resilience, and ROI from your NetSuite investment. Get to know Celigo and try it today.
I feel fulfilled right now. Thank you, Fritz.
Fritz, you get better at that every time.
I feel resilience.
Do you?
I do.
You look resilient.
Feeling it.
Do you have any other feelings coming off of that keynote that you want to start talking about?
There was a lot. I was surprised by how many aspects of AI in NetSuite that we were prepared to talk about today. And, maybe I'll jump kind of towards the end where Brian and to some degree Patrick as well were talking about the SuiteCloud platform, talking to developers, administrators. And so the AI is not just for the end user, the CFO, finance pros, operations people, but people wanting to extend NetSuite and have AI built into that and use AI in the development process.
It was really interesting. I mean, I spend a lot of my time thinking about software engineering practices and producing solutions based on our frameworks and toolkits, and seeing the composable idea, the open platform idea that Patrick talked about, and then seeing Brian show actual demos with live coding and having a model for building a project, executing it, using the prompt studio, the AI prompt studios, and being able to create a sequence of complex automated solutions that you customize and implement yourself, but with the help of AI. So all of the complexity and time, it vanishes as you create these workflows that could never be built before without huge efforts. Tori, did you get excited by the live coding?
Nothing gets me more excited than live code, I have to say. But no, I agree. I was pretty blown away to see the SuiteCloud platform in action, because something that we've talked about always with NetSuite is it is customizable. That's one of the aspects that makes it so special. But with our AI features, with these AI functionality that we're infusing into the suite, it's making NetSuite even more customizable at a very granular, specific level for companies. And SuiteCloud, the SuiteCloud platform, is an example of that. There is AI toolkits that are a part of that really makes it easy for developers and customers to craft NetSuite to fit their needs. There's the AI studios that Brian talked about. That's kind of building on Prompt Studio and Text Enhance that we've announced in years past. There's so much that's kind of rolling out with this NetSuite Next announcement, and it's really exciting to see. Fritz, what were some other highlights that perhaps made you catch your breath a little bit?
Catch my breath.
Because you're so blown away.
Yes. That's a different question, so I'll come back to that. Well, I think, going back to kind of the top and reiterating some of the things that we've heard for the past couple of days and that Gary outlined up top, and Craig on the finance side also dived into, is that notion of, he talked about transparency, the human AI collaboration, and really even starting with the point that the AI kind of shows you where it's getting this information from, right? So it's kind of like, Chris, you talk about trust. Well, where is this data coming from? It shows you. It allows you as the human to interact and partner with the AI. So I like that point. Um, and on top of that, uh, removing the friction. I heard that across every single part of it. Just AI removing the friction, um, that was especially powerful. We saw in the demonstrations with autonomous close, bill capture, which maybe we'll talk about in a little bit, in intelligent payment automation.
Yeah, I want to riff on removing the friction. We heard yesterday about removing the friction from the CRO from Shopify, how his equation for scaling involves friction. And when there's too much friction, scaling can't happen. And the idea that when you're looking at these new features, these capabilities on identifying things like churn or risk of churn, or getting a feedback element from a customer when you've got a process that has a call out and you want to wait back, that the AI can watch and wait for that, and you're never stuck in a friction state where you're just waiting when it could have been moving forward. And it creates these opportunities for reducing friction and unblocking the scaling that everyone's really looking for. And I thought that was super powerful. And I want to go back to something you mentioned about Craig and the ideas that Craig brought forth. His topics are so much in the heart of the business, and I know they're in the hearts of so many of our attendees at SuiteWorld. Those core accounting features, the autonomous close, the magic of zero-day close. Tori, have you ever been more excited for our friends in the back office?
I have never been more excited, because though I have never had to do a close of any kind myself, I hear they're not fun. So the concept of having an autonomous close, a zero-day close, wild.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. And Craig also, while he was speaking on stage, he talked about the autonomous close. That was kind of the big opener when Craig came on stage. I also had to notice he's wearing his special shirt. Craig does have a special keynote shirt that he wears every year, and this one had the AI particles on it. But anyway, we had autonomous close that kicked off his segment, and then he went into the NetSuite Intelligent Payment Automation, which is our partnership with Bill, and we're really automating the accounts payable processes, all AI infused in that. But to your point, it's taking these really monotonous tasks that our customers are often plagued with, and it's making them that much smoother so that they can focus on what really matters.
Let me ask you a follow-up question there. For our listeners that didn't attend at NetSuite, SuiteWorld.com/on-air, but want to go to the next keynotes, what was the clock that Craig set for setting up that integration? How long did it actually end up taking? Did you see that one?
He said it was 1 minute, 59 seconds, and a little change.
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes, which is pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah, I would have gotten pretty excited about that as a user as well. One of the other things I just want to go back to that struck me as Gary was talking was, and not just what he was talking, but as you saw every single demo, I feel like the more demonstrations of the Ask Oracle feature, of NetSuite Next that I see, of AI everywhere, what keeps coming across and building in my mind and is now cemented in my mind is this idea of NetSuite understanding your intent, whether that is specific to the role you have, where you are in the system, what you're using, what data is being accessed. All of those things are so grounded in NetSuite, and this idea that it can understand as it goes through is mind-boggling, and the level of specificity as we go through each module and each capability was as I said, it's cemented in my mind.
Did you want to play on the canvas that was sort of enabling this intent identification? Did you enjoy the canvas metaphor and the ability to do this automated generation of solutions in real time?
Yeah, that's its ability to do this in real time is, I wasn't even thinking about that. Yes, but it's like having, as we talked about in previous discussions, having this little angel on my shoulder that just would say, "Here's the answer," and I can buzz in and be on my way.
It's fantastic. Were you impressed with the EAL demo? Did you find their mission compelling in terms of keeping things out of the landfills and finding an opportunity to create scholarships for students out of these materials and these 1.5 million SKUs?
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to actually hear the customer stories and to see the impact, because we can look at demos all day and we can talk about functionality all day, but it doesn't really matter, right? Unless it's being used. And so to see customers that are actually using this functionality, using the suite to not only make their businesses better, but to perhaps make the world a better place. It doesn't get much better than that. And I know the EL Green story is likely pretty close to Gary's heart, because he's all about wanting to make our customers' lives better and easier. He's all about NetSuite helping them play Little League with their kids, or make, their kids' soccer practice or paint or whatever they want to do in their lives. And so I think that story was a great testament to what we're hoping to do with NetSuite ultimately in the grand scheme of things. Fritz, did you have any takeaways, or Chris, did you have any takeaways from the Business 360 demo at the end? Gary and Brian got on stage and they really talked about how that is a perfect example of sweetness and AI coming together and really being in harmony.
Yeah, I was, and it was the two of them up there, and it was really powerful because, you start off with this kind of dashboard look at everything you might need to know, cutting across the entire business 360, not just financials 360, but your entire business. And this idea that it can flag problems on that opening dashboard, that it can take you to solutions, that it allows you to take action from those solutions, and then, kind of give you all of the metrics, keep track of all this, the status, everything right there, brought home that whole concept of sweetness in one quick 2-minute demonstration.
It was incredibly powerful. You saw a snapshot of it at the beginning when Gary was talking about sweetness and the unified information and what it gives your business. And then again, when Allison was talking about using automation and the AI to identify churn predictors and churn preventers and implementing those with sort of easy to follow up on models and solutions and taking recommendations. But then at the end, when you get to see, here's the vision for how these elements like the churn predictor can become part of a holistic model for the entire business. Business 360 really, I bought into the no limits tagline there, because it really felt like it is going to unlock so much power in the suite, in your data, and let you as a leader or a business executive take control and implement the plans in near real time to keep your business on track.
I think the real time aspect was also brought home when Brian nerded out a little bit about re-engineering the underlying foundation of the NetSuite platform. He talked about doing things like only fetching the data you need, right? So not pulling everything in. Asynchronous processing, being able to do high demand queries faster, so people might think, well, how is all this happening so much quicker? Well, there's your answer. In addition to that, keeping with this idea of, back to your heart and home, security. It's built-in security, observability, built on the Oracle Cloud, and through all this, the ability to scale. He showed he talked about some of the performance numbers that were pretty astounding too.
Another really cool feature of NetSuite Next, and something that Patrick really dove into, was suite agents.
Yes.
We even saw Sweet Stanley, dressed as a little special agent. But suite agents are going to make things even easier and more streamlined for our customers because they can essentially set up these workflows that are moving around in the background, doing the work for you, also very customizable, but you're always kept in the loop. And so, Chris, what did you think about Suite Agents? What were your main takeaways?
I love the idea that you can set a number of Suite Agents up in the background to help you on a single task, right? You don't have to worry about having hundreds here or there, but you can select the right number to make a given task and automation suite flow execute automatically with a bunch of those states being managed and monitored and the health of which maintained by those agents. It feels like superpowers being built into the suite. Like, I don't know what like all of a sudden there's just like energy available to execute now to the degree you want. It was incredible, frankly.
So you were really fired up with the Suite Agents.
I thought the glamour of the agent was cool, but the power is what sold me.
Well, and you think about, a system like NetSuite automates things for you, and agents are another form of automation, but with Suite Agents, you can build things we haven't even imagined. And I think that's we showed one demonstration of that, but I think that's the extra power. Like, make NetSuite what you need to do. Make the agents do what you need them to do.
Yeah, I think that was one of my main takeaways from the product keynote and SuiteWorld as a whole this year, is we're really putting control in our customers' hands, and so they're able to craft NetSuite again to meet their needs at this very specific, cool level, and that's amazing to see. So we're really putting control in their hands. They're controlling their data, controlling their insights, controlling what NetSuite can do for them, and that is very exciting. And what's more, Chris, is we are about to sit down with Gary and Brian following that keynote so we can learn even more. But first, we do have an ad from our sponsors. Let's check it out. 100% control, 0% expense reports, Chris.
0%.
Does it get better than that? I don't think so. Bill's company card plus powerful free expense management software lets you track, budget, control your spending in real time. Plus, automate your reporting process so you never have to do another expense report ever again.
Never again.
Ever again. Imagine closing your books in hours, not weeks. Bill streamlines your financial operations, everything from payments and approvals to spend analytics and procure to pay workflows, saving time you could be using to strategize for growth. Drop by the Bill website and check them out. Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you, Chris, for being my co-host today.
It's so good to be here with you.
And who do we have on the couch in front of us, Chris?
We have a very dapperly dressed Gary Wiessinger and Brian Chess, looking very much like the technologist that he is.
That's right. That's right. I couldn't bear doing the bow tie all day long, so
we lost the bow tie.
I apologize.
It's very Rat Pack when you undo the bow tie this early in the day.
Exactly what I was going for.
Right, it works out
at the end of the keynote. That's right.
It's kind of hard sitting here next to him though. Like he's just stylish.
I wish we had all gotten the suit memo,
That is
Gary.
actually the first time anyone's ever said that in my whole life.
Well, welcome to the NetSuite Podcast. How are you both feeling after the keynote?
Awesome. Fired up. We've been working on these things so hard for a long time, years in some cases, to build some of these technical underpinnings. And so this has been years in coming. We're so excited to be able to finally share it and get people's reactions. And really that's what it's about. And yesterday, today, people have been so fired up about what we're doing. And that makes all the difference. So couldn't be happier.
Well, at the beginning of the keynote, we saw the product team as special AI agents. And my first question is, how do you think it did in really recreating each of your likenesses?
Nailed it.
Brian, I think yours may have been the most realistic. I saw AI. AI really knows you.
I was pretty happy. We were talking to some other people in there, and they were kind of like, that's not really me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's great.
Like a lot of things with AI, it was surprisingly good. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was really good. As I shared with people, my daughter doesn't necessarily agree, but I thought it was spot on.
Okay, well, let's go straight to you. You had a question, I think, about Gary and his keynote.
Yeah, well, I guess question to kick things off. We were talking about AI. AI is everywhere. We can't get enough AI. So how is our AI here at NetSuite unique, and how is it really delivering value for our customers?
Oh, I mean, I think we've got some great stuff going on even before we get to NetSuite Next. We've been doing AI in the suite for years. I think there's been a big shift though. In previous years, some of our most popular AI features, the things that people are doing the most with AI right now, are things that are maybe up behind the scenes where they don't even know what's going on. For instance, we're helping people upsell. They don't have to do a thing in order to take advantage of that AI. So that's what's I think our past has been. What we've seen this summer, though, when we released the AI connector, is that people took to it right away. They embraced it. They want more AI. And so that's a big shift, and it makes us even more excited for what's coming, because the reception that we've had here for what we've announced in Next has been fantastic, and I think customers are going to embrace it.
Yeah, I can testify to that. The being on the social media team, the social media reactions we got from the AI connector service were incredible, and we've seen so many use cases, which we are going to dive into in a little bit. So no spoiler alerts here, but agreed, it was very exciting to see all the reactions. So Gary, going over to you, I know one of your big passion points here at NetSuite is that you want to have a human-centric approach. You want to make our customers' lives better, easier. They have more time for hobbies and pottery and painting or whatever it may be. So when we're thinking about how to address our customers' needs, how do we go about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We've all heard of solutions in search of a problem, and I think AI is maybe the biggest example we've ever seen of that. It's exploded. The hype curve around it is incredible. And there are a lot of companies, a lot of products just throwing AI in and throwing AI out just so they can say AI. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't solve problems, if it doesn't help people, help them do their jobs, help make their lives better. And so we strive to always start with that, start with the users and their needs, and then figure out how we can apply AI to it to solve their needs, as opposed to, oh, here's some AI, what can we do with it? Isn't the right way to approach it.
Well, the era of NetSuite Next is upon us. Brian, what are you most excited for our customers from NetSuite Next as we're looking forward?
Here's how things are gonna go for our customers, and I'm gonna take it kind of chronologically, I guess. So the first thing they're going to experience is a seamless upgrade, just like every NetSuite major release. You wake up one day and you've got NetSuite Next. The next thing they're going to see is a fantastic user experience where things are just smoother and more streamlined than they've ever been. And then the next thing that they're going to see is deeply embedded AI. And the first place that they're going to encounter that is in Ask Oracle, because Ask Oracle is really kind of the front door to a tremendous amount of the AI in NetSuite Next.
What about you, Gary? What are you most excited about for NetSuite Next?
It's AI centric, obviously. And we're rebuilding NetSuite, if you will, to embed AI in the core. As we've said, it's not a bolt-on. We're making it so that it's not something you can just turn off. It's like NetSuite not in the cloud. Like that's not an option. We're cloud native. Well, we're making NetSuite basically AI native, and that we do that in service of our customers and users. It's going to make for a better solution and a better experience. But it also isn't just about the AI. As Brian said, it's also about a next generation experience with the Redwood design system. It's also about leveraging some of our next generation technology that we've been building for literally 5 or 6 years. It's also about the SuiteCloud platform improvements that we're doing around AI that Brian and Patrick talked about. So it really has, yes, there's a lot of AI, but it goes way beyond AI, and has so many elements that are going to make a massive difference for our users.
Well, Brian, we talk about built-in, not bolt-on. Do you see in workflows or records or analytics specific expansions of the value of AI and in NetSuite Next?
I think I want to start kind of with the negative about like what does a shallow integration feel like, and I think we probably all had the experience. Although I don't know if people kind of put that term on it, But if you've ever called the cable company to try and get some help with something, you've probably experienced a little bit of robot that may not have been so satisfying, even though it claims it's responding to your voice. It's got this like really limited vocabulary, and you really quickly kind of go in these loops that take you back to the top again, and it just doesn't feel very good. And so I want to contrast that with what we mean when we say built in, not bolted on. So a deep integration means really understanding all of the records, knowing the business, like having the context for what that business does, and feeling like you're collaborating with the AI on work. So that's what we mean when we say built in, not bolted on.
And Gary, I feel like I know you so well, Gary, at this point, but sweetness.
We've done this once or twice.
not our first rodeo at all, Gary.
I might have mentioned sweetness once or twice
Just,
before.
you know,
Maybe.
A few times.
Might have come up.
So sweetness, we have to talk about it
Yes.
because it is such a big part of what we do here. How does sweetness and the power of AI complement each other?
Absolutely. Sweetness is super powerful for our customers because it's customer centric. It's how all of our customers want to run their business, where people across organizations, across departments collaborate together to achieve the company's goals, not just the individual department's goals. And that is sweetness in essence, and the synergy that comes from departments working better together. Sweetness makes AI more powerful and vice versa. As an example, AI is all about the data. It's part of data science. It's all about the data. The better data you have, the better AI you're going to have. We have data from across departments, across an entire company. So we can do more with AI than point solutions can. They can only see a slice of the company. We can draw these patterns and non-obvious insights that humans probably don't see. These other systems, they can't see it either because they can't see the correlations across departments. And so we can provide better, deeper insights, more impactful insights about how the whole company operates and can improve than any point solution ever can.
And so I think it's time we dive into the SuiteCloud platform a little bit because it is being reimagined a bit. So it's really putting developers, our customers, in the driver's seat, essentially, to customize AI to fit their needs. So Brian, can you talk a little bit about what is coming in SuiteCloud platform?
Okay, I don't feel old when I say this yet, but I think eventually I will. For me, when I wanted to learn how to do something new with software at the beginning of my career, I started by going and buying a book.
A what? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't play me, Gary. I know how old you are. Okay, so then there was this whole era that we lived through where if you wanted to write software, you'd talk to Google and say, how do I do this? And probably get a pointer to Stack Overflow, and it would show you like a little snippet of code. And then there was this very brief moment in time where it was like AI autocomplete, where you kind of start writing the line and the AI would finish the line for you. And it was amazing. And it ended really fast. And so now the era we're in is write a paragraph that explains what you want, let the AI go to work, and now that works for NetSuite developers. It's really, really amazing. And I want to explain that it's not the same as all of those other tools out there. And I want to explain why it's not the same. It's good at writing code just like they are, but it has the context of the account that you're working in. It's not just about the code, it's also about the data. It's about the customizations you've made. It's about the way that account is configured. And it can take all of that into account as it's writing a Suite app for you. It's really amazing. It's going to turbocharge development on the platform.
Is it going to rely on the AI toolkits and assistants in studios to help them do that faster?
Oh, Chris, of course you want to make it circular. Yes, you can have the AI generate AI features for you. Of course.
Wow.
Isn't that the magic? Well, in both of your opinions then, what's the significance of the open and composable principles that are guiding this next generation?
Wait, what did you say?
SuiteCloud? Composable?
I thought it was compostable.
Not
compostable?
Not compostable.
No?
Compostable is useful, but here...
Troy thought that was funny.
I laughed, Brian.
Can I recycle that one?
You can absolutely recycle. And it wasn't even a pity laugh.
You can compost that one.
That one can go in the landfill, frankly. Open and composable. How are they going to be guiding those principles, guiding the next generation of SuiteCloud, the platform itself?
It's one of the advantages of NetSuite in this era of AI. The SuiteCloud platform has been the best extensibility platform in the industry for many years, and our customers have benefited because of it. Now, while we didn't build that for AI, it is exactly what we would have wanted to have built for AI. The entire NetSuite data model is exposed out to AI tools, our own developers, LLMs, etc. And it's critical for AI for our customers to be able to get the most benefit from AI. They need to be able to access our data and our business logic, and they need to be able to do it safely within the right controls and permissions. And so the entire platform works within robust roles and permissions and controls and approval flows. And so we're already kind of ready-made for AI, but that openness is critical, and we're there. We're there already.
Okay. I think it's time to talk about one of my favorite recent announcements, and that is the AI connector service, because as I mentioned before, we had pretty stellar reviews on social from our customers and our NetSuite community. So I know both of your teams worked pretty closely together on it. Can you give us an inside scoop on what that process was to build it?
So, that was a really rewarding experience for me building out the AI connector service because it happened fast, and it also surprised us at just how amazing that reaction was. You might have noticed we didn't save that for big SuiteWorld news. We just sort of put it out there, a little announcement, not a whole lot of hype around it, and then it really, really took off. So that was rewarding. But the thing that most people didn't get to see is what happened inside NetSuite to do that. It was a collaboration between a bunch of teams. The platform team, obviously, because the AI connector service is a platform service, but also the integration team, the authentication team, because there's dynamic client registration in there, which is amazing technology all by itself. And of course, the security team weighing in to make sure that we were doing this right.
It was really exciting behind the scenes to see all this come together. It was a fast and powerful and well executed experience from my perspective, Brian. But coming out of that, what have you both seen customers implement on the AI connector service already that maybe you didn't expect or that you think is really particularly cool that you want to give a call out or shout out to?
Yeah, and it's like the platform, the SuiteCloud platform itself. There are so many different things our customers have done to tailor the NetSuite to be their suite and solve their specific problems. Claudia from EAL Green, who was in the keynote, a few weeks ago, literally, we were basically giving her a preview of some of the things we were going to talk about in the keynote, and we talked about MCP, and she had told us, I have this problem. We're hoping to be able to use AI to automate this process where we get donated inventory in, we have to identify it and assess the quality and price it. And in this prep call, we were like, sounds like a good use case for MCP. We had a couple of our folks work with a couple of her folks, and 3 weeks later, they're near production on it.
That is just fantastic.
I have to say that is the most rewarding part of building a platform, is when people do things that you just wouldn't have imagined.
Yeah, there's no way in product management we would have said, what, we have a really important use case across thousands of companies. We need to identify random objects by a picture and then assess they're used, so we have to assess their quality. Like that doesn't happen. There are a handful of organizations in the world that might need that. So again, it speaks to the power of the platform, the power of MCP and AI, that with that, we're enabling customers to meet their unique individual needs.
It was really compelling, I thought, to see Craig execute his timed setup for the intelligent payment automation.
Yes.
But I was frankly more impressed even by the 5-second setup for implementing AI connector service, it felt like. So I can imagine that was part of the unlocking here, is it's just so easy to get there.
That's right. That's exactly right.
NetSuite Next, flip of a switch, push of a button, whatever we're calling it, pretty cool.
I think if you look at what's happening in the world, it feels to me like the world is accelerating. Like everything is happening faster. And today we're talking a lot about that as opportunity. How can you grow your business faster? The thing we're not talking about is If you don't do it, eventually you get left behind. How do you make things accelerate? And a great way to accelerate is to make it easy.
Yeah.
And AI is evolving so quickly, no one knows exactly how it will be used, should be used. It'd be crazy for us to sit back in our offices and be like, all right, here are all the use cases for AI, and we're prioritizing, we'll go build. We need to do what we're doing, enable all of our customers and users to innovate themselves and discover in parallel to us what we can all do with AI.
I want to add one more thing that has happened. It wasn't a specific customer. It's more like what the whole industry is doing. MCP is less than a year old. Actually, its first birthday next month. Already, people are building on top of it. They're building new protocols that require MCP. And Evan actually managed to sneak one of those into his keynote yesterday, where he was talking about ACP, or the Agentic Commerce Protocol. But that's not the only one. It might be the flashiest one, but it's not the only one. People are doing all kinds of things based on MCP. So it's going to very quickly go from a cool new capability to a building block.
Yeah, and on that note, just from my personal perspective, it's been pretty neat over the last few years, even at SuiteWorld, to see we've been embedding AI in the suite for years, of course, but the last few years, it's more and more every single year. And you guys are behind the scenes, you know what's going on before I do, but from my perspective, again, it's been very cool to see all of this emerge this year, and it's even so drastically evolved from even last SuiteWorld when I was talking to the both of you back then. So very, very cool. And Gary, speaking of last year, I know you never give a favorite product, but
How could I choose?
you can't choose. I know they're your babies.
They are.
But you are passionate about Business 360, and the two of you took the stage together to end the keynote and talk about Business 360. So how is that a perfect example of how AI and sweetness come together?
And that's exactly what it is. Again, the design of that, and we glossed over it quickly, but at the top of that page, our customers will go in and put in their business objectives, their company objectives, with measurable KPIs. And then the tool helps them see how they're doing relative to achieving their company level objectives. Again, as I said before, it's not a system to run a department. It's a system to run a business. We're going to help them achieve their defined success, and every moment help them see when things have diverged and they need to act, and then help them act. So it is, as you said, the perfect example of the power of sweetness to help the whole company succeed in the way that no point solution ever can, and the power of AI enabling us to do those things.
All right, Brian, we've put Gary on the spot before with this question, so we have to ask you too. What's your favorite NetSuite product, feature, module, etc.?
Oh, I'm going to answer.
Oh,
yeah, I am.
You hear that, Gary?
It
It sounds like you're being a little challenged.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this means I'm either braver or dumber. I don't know. Maybe both. I could be both.
I think they're the same, two sides of the same coin.
That's right.
Oh, Suite Success.
Oh,
Suite Success is my favorite, and I'll tell you why Suite Success is my favorite.
Yes.
Because it combines the product with the delivery of that product, and it's like just this super simple concept that's actually hard to get right, and that makes it my favorite. Is when it comes out and it's like super simple from the consumer's point of view, but I know all of the work that had to go into making it real.
that sounds very rewarding indeed.
It does. Was there, as we're thinking about this whole experience, was there anything out there today or yesterday that made you say, yeah, this is why I do this?
Well, I think the reaction we've received from customers, from partners, they're so excited about Next and everything we're showing, and the way that we're helping apply AI, the way we're putting AI to work for them resonates. There are a lot of concerns, obviously, in the world about AI and excitement, but also some fear. And I think it's really resonating the way that we are enabling them to control the AI, tailor the AI, trust the AI. So I feel like, we're with Next and our strategy on AI, I feel like we're getting it.
Okay, that made sense. That made sense, Gary. But I thought he just meant like, why are you doing this podcast? I'm doing this
'Cause-
podcast because they told me I could get a photo with Chris and Tori.
I was told to. Somebody put it on my schedule. But I'm very
we
excited
actually
to be here.
forced both of you on this couch, but it's okay.
We're so grateful that you complied with whatever that instruction was.
I still want the photo.
You will absolutely get the photo. Don't you worry. And we will probably send that to you as well. So kind of going off Chris's question, looking ahead to, we're sitting perhaps back on this couch, we're talking next SuiteWorld 2026. What is something you will look back on or perhaps looking forward to that will say, yeah, we got this right for our customers and their teams, we're headed in the right direction?
I think about the different people out there that we serve. And so I think if we came back next year and the users are heating up our servers because they are talking to Ask Oracle nonstop, I think that would be a tremendous success. I want to see the developers accelerating their work. We're going to hand them some fantastic tools really, really soon now. And I think by the time we get back here next year, we will have seen the results that come out of that. And then the administrators will know we've scored when they start making the AI really work for their business, tailoring it for what their business is about.
Before we come back for next SuiteWorld, it's going to get in NetSuite Next. Will be in customers' hands, scheduled to be in customers' hands, and so I can't wait. I mean, they're excited about the what they've seen, what we've shown them. I can't wait till they can actually use it themselves and all the stories they're going to come back and share about what they're doing with it and how it's helping them, and in ways that a few years ago none of us could have ever imagined. So it's going to be fun.
I can't imagine. I can't fathom even what next SuiteWorld is going to bring. Just seeing again the evolution and the acceleration from even last year to this year. So Gary, Brian, thank you so much as always for coming on the NetSuite podcast and diving into your keynote on behalf of myself and Chris Bloom. And thank you everyone for tuning in and listening here on the NetSuite podcast at SuiteWorld 2025. Remember that you can catch Gary and Brian's keynotes in addition to Sam and Evan's from yesterday on demand at netsuitesuiteworld.com/on-air. And the best part about it is it's all free, Chris.
Totally free. It's
Can you-
available now.
Can you believe that?
Hit it right now.
Get it right now. That's right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.